Hello, and welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Jay Owner Sr., and would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help us get into the algorithm, and we'll be able to produce more shows. With all that being done, let's get into today's show. By now, you guys might have heard the big news coming out of Boulder, Colorado, within the last 24 hours. Two players that were arguably the leaders, one on offense and one on defense, the reports are have declared their intent to enter the transfer portal. We start off first on the defensive side of the ball with unquestionable leader Tafik Bayard. Tafik Bayard, the 6'1", 195-pound sophomore, led the team in total tackles of 85 and 57 tackles unassisted. And at the end of the season, Bayard was third in unassisted tackles in the Big 12, and he ranked 26, tied for 26 in the country for unassisted tackles. Bayard played in all 12 games for the Buffs, starting in 8 of them, and faced a myriad of injuries to both hands. And I think it was a hamstring injury in there at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Bayard transferred into the program December 24th, 2024, to replace safety and leader of the defense, Cameron Silman Craig, who went on to the NFL as an undrafted free agent with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With hard hitting and captain of the secondary, Bayard hitting the transfer portal, it leaves you to believe who is going to step up and take that spot. Would it be Stoudemire? Would it be someone coming in? There's a lot of questions now I have because you've lost. It seems you're losing a lot of secondary players now, and there has to be a plan. And I'm not saying that Coach Prime can't or won't get great and serviceable secondary players. You know, the one man on man, lock them down. Me versus you. Simple as that. Because that's what he brings to the table. Is that DBs everywhere would want to learn from him. That's no if ands or buts about it. You know, so it's hard to have a captain of the secondary and it's switching over every year, even though it hasn't done that because Tafik was back there for 2 years for you, and this is the first year that it switched. But now you're going to be switching again. I don't think Stoudemire is the vocal leader that you would want him to be back there, and I don't think that he's the physical leader. Also, he has the body to be, but I don't see it in him. On the offensive side of the ball. This one was a really, 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 really big shocker. Omarion Miller has plans on entering the transfer portal. Miller led the Buffs this season with 45 catches, 808 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Omarion became a fan favorite in 2023 when he burst on the scene against the USC Trojans, where he went for, I believe, I might have it here. Hold on one second. Hmm. Let me remove this one. No, that was his career stats. What was O stats? O had 7 receptions for 196 yards and 1 touchdown in a USC game. That was his first game in college, and he's with Shedeur Sanders. That's when he burst on the scene. Last year, then he went down with an injury. Last year, O was doing O things, bursting on the scene, and he was having a monster game at against Kansas State when an unfortunate leg injury on a hip drag tackle took him out. Receiver Joseph Williams took the X in the post to show his feelings of how Omarion Miller entering the portal made him feel. Williams posted, "Hurt me with this one, twin." Williams, a true sophomore, will be looked at as the new leader of that room with Omarion now leaving. I don't think Draylon is going to be in that room. I think Draylon Miller is going to hit the portal either. I don't see him as a running back. He's too scared to block. I'm not saying he's scared to take a hit. He's scared to block. And he's a little too stiff to be a slot receiver, in my opinion. But I tell you this, O will be missed in that offensive meeting room and in that receiver room. The only fault I saw with O is he wasn't consistent in his blocking downfield. And with this offense, this go-go offense that Coach Marion is going to be bringing in, you will have to block. If you do not block, you will not play. That is if you look at the tape does not lie. You will be blocking in the go-go offense. Speaking of Coach Marion went on to post this to the fans, the Buff Nation fans. Coach Marion posted, "I can tell y'all never seen me recruit before." Well, Coach Marion, no. Buff Nation has not seen you recruit before, not as a whole. Maybe individuals that are deep into college football have seen you recruit. Or after you were signed or named the OC and signed, people might have gone and done their homework. But no, as a whole, Buff Nation has not seen you recruit before. And with O leaving, it's not just about recruitment in the high school ranks. It's going to be about recruitment in this transfer portal season because you're going to have to replace that production. O will be definitely missed, and I won't say he has big shoes to fill. Those will be big shoes to fill, but it's going to be in the eyes of the fans. It's going to be very, very difficult to replace him. In other news, what is going on down in Demon Deacon country? The Wake Forest Demon Deacons have 15 players as of today, December 18th, 2025, to enter the transfer portal. Now, mind you, you still have a couple weeks before the portal actually even opens. And now you have 15. And when I say 15, I'm not talking about 15 anybody's. I'm talking about, for instance, Elijah Oliki. Hopefully, I said your name right, brother. I am so sorry if I uh, butchered that. Elijah O, I'll say, is a 6'2", 223. I believe he's a redshirt freshman, or is he just a true freshman? He's just a true freshman. It's 6'3", 6'2", 223-pound freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He was a star prospect and rated number 23 in the country by ESPN. Other players to have announced that they would be entering the portal from uh, Wake, uh, Wake Forest. Chris Barnes, Chris Barnes, a 5'7", 168-pound slot receiver out of Houston, Texas. This is a redshirt freshman. Um, led the team in both receptions and yards. 39 receptions and 579 yards, and was all ACC honorable mention. Another person who has intentions on entering the transfer portal is wide receiver Micah Mays Jr. Micah Mays Jr. is a 6'2", 196-pound red shirt sophomore out of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Ooh, that might be a Coach Prime dog. Matter of fact, Micah Mays had a pretty good game against Colorado. Let me see where's my other device at. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. I just had it. I was going to try to look it up. Let me see if I can't look it up for you guys real quick. Uh, and 1 second. I know this is horrible, horrible, horrible radio or horrible YouTubing. YouTube's struggling right now. Yeah, it's taking me too long. But Mays had 18 receptions for 302 or 303 yards this year. Another person. Now, mind you, everybody I'm gonna be telling you about is a big part of their offense or defense. Caplone Blue, I believe he's a redshirt senior though. I believe so, or is he's a redshirt junior? And then Deshaun Jones was also a nickel corner. So those are just a few of the names of people that will be leaving the program, and I expect more to come. Um, in other news, it looks like down in the Bayou, Lane Kiffin is down to one scholarship quarterback on the roster after redshirt freshman Colin Hurley is set to officially enter the transfer portal. Michael Van Buren will be the only QB on the roster for the Tigers' December 27th game against the Houston Cougars for the Texas Bowl. Looks like Coach Kiffin's going to have a pretty wide range selection of quarterbacks to choose from in this upcoming portal cycle, the only portal cycle. But quiet as kept, I think he would go after his number one target would be Dylan Raiola out of Nebraska if Raiola does decide to enter the draft. I just think that Raiola's style of play and his toughness, his willingness to do whatever it takes to win the game fits right up Lane Kiffin's alley, and it helps his scheme a lot. He won't have to teach Raiola a lot, and he won't have to hide a lot of things he had to do with past quarterbacks. He will have to get some of that gunslinger mentality out of Raiola, but that's what makes Dylan Dylan is that gunslinger mentality. So that's a fine edged sword with that. I could see Lane Kiffin offering him one of the biggest NIL bags that there is. Well, not Lane Kiffin, but LSU. One to rival what's his name in at Michigan, the quarterback Underwood in Michigan. I think his Underwood's was 11.5 million a year for 4 years, or something like that. Hmm. Yeah, that's head coach money. That's elite head coach money. But you're giving a starting quarterback that's 18 years old, and Dylan Raiola case would be 20 to 21 years old in this third season. Uh, well, that was the college news that I had for you that I thought that was important, and I don't think it's getting a lot of news and a lot of drive. Please, please, please take a second out of your day. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. If you like to subscribe, please go to at Pot of Coffee 1203 at YouTube and on X. That helps us gets us in the algorithm, and it helps us produce more and more content. Thank you again for taking 20 minutes out of your day and enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Once again, I'm your host, Dave Loader Sr., and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.